rival gang, ADG, has a hawk logo that they use. As you can see on the cover of this, there's a hawk skull with a snake, the symbol for YSL, climbing through the eyes of this skull of a hawk.
Day 27 and 28 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial were interesting. Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, name drops huge artists such as The Weeknd, Post Malone, and Playboi Carti. All of these artists have also dropped the C and replaced it with a B in their wording before, hinting that they aren't gang members and they do it for entertainment. He also goes through every single tweet the state showed to the jury and shows important context with other tweets from the same day. Yeah, more cross-examination from Brian Steele with the detective, but it does kind of backfire on Brian Steele towards the end of this video, so stick around, hit subscribe, here we go.
My understanding is it's marked 60W. It's not been admitted into evidence. And my understanding is they plan to play this video through Investigator Belknap.
He just said that the state is trying to add new evidence. There's no fucking way. It's almost like every week there's so much time wasted in the courtroom over them trying to add new evidence. Why are they adding new evidence during the trial? I'll never understand this.
Do have specific objections to the introduction and publishing of this video.
The video, I believe, shows a number of individuals. I put it around 20 that are hanging out in what appears to be a parking lot. I believe that's outside apartments in the Cleveland Avenue corridor.
Okay, how long is the video?
The video is approximately 15 minutes.
No, it's about 7
minutes.
Okay, all right, 7 minutes. And then what's anything else about this video on these alleged 20 individuals in the parking lot?
So there's definitely, I would say, a general main narrator who's a gentleman that is not one of the accused.
Alright boys, as you know, the Chiefs and the 49ers are gearing up for an epic Super Bowl in Las Vegas, and MyBookie gives you a front row seat to it. Whether you're aiming to cash in on the big game or just looking for a good time, MyBookie brings the true Vegas experience to you. They have a huge selection of pregame props, boys. Everything from the opening coin toss to the color of Taylor Swift's sweater. MyBookie truly has something for everyone, and you can bet it all while watching on the sportsbook. This is a platform that makes it so simple, so you don't need to be a pro to turn pop culture and sports knowledge into real cash in your wallet, boys. And say goodbye to payout sweats and say hello to unbeatable bonuses. Get the best bang for your buck and choose from a variety of welcome offers that fits your playstyle the best. MyBookie is offering a 50% deposit match, so if you put $1,000 in, you get an extra $500 bonus. If you deposit $500, you get a $250 bonus. It's always fun to have some skin in the game and get your heart going, boys. The adrenaline's crazy. Like, if you're an adrenaline junkie, this sportsbook is unbeatable for you. It's honestly the best sportsbook by far. Use my link below, bet anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Appreciate you guys. Here's the rest of the video.
He's kind of narrating, this is what we're doing, this is what's going on. Other individuals smoking marijuana. Mr. Williams, I believe, makes an appearance on the camera. Associates that appear on the video, they're not the ones that are talking.
So it's a video of a dude that's not even in the courtroom talking majority of the time. I would imagine it's just all of them chilling, like a lot of people in YSL chilling on the block or something, throwing up gang signs.
And there are individuals with firearms. It's marijuana, it's firearms, it's cussing. I think that there's a lack of relevance towards issues that this case is about. There's certainly bad character evidence. There's certainly people in possession of firearms. There's certainly people using bad language. There's certainly people smoking marijuana. Those are all bad character. What the state is going to allege some sort of gang signs, and also a brief mention about sex, money, murder, or SMM by Mr. Williams. We've seen through Detective Belknap, we've seen Mr. Williams' tweets. We've seen multiple videos, one outside a house in the Cleveland Avenue area. That was the one with the young child. We've seen two videos, I believe, of Mr. Stevens riding around in a car, rapping along with rap lyrics, saying what's alleged to be gang jargon. I think the state has presented evidence. They're going to argue links some of these individuals to gangs. At this point, playing another video of people with possession of firearms and smoking marijuana and hanging out and saying things that typically you would not want a defendant to say in front of a jury, at this point is the probative value of any issue in this case is scant. It's not relevant.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough probative value there either. Like, it's more prejudicial than anything.
Cumulative at this point where let me be clear, Your Honor, I'm not saying that this is the court's fault, but I'm saying in playing additional videos, it's cutting back on judicial efficiency, and it's cumulative at this point. Relevance and the probative value is outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice. This narrator, who has not been identified, has certainly not been named in this indictment, is just going on and giving a narration. He's not on a witness list to my knowledge. He's not testifying in court. It's hearsay, it's confrontation clause.
I mean, the jury's seen 10 videos of this already, of them just chilling, hanging out. I see nothing that this can add to the jury at all. Let's see some real hard evidence here, bro.
And the state intentionally did not put the video in during our initial direct examination of investigator Belknap. However, we believe this video has become relevant given the cross-examination that has occurred at this point of investigator Belknap.
Oh, so they're blaming it on them. They're saying on cross-examination the defense asked something and now they need to clarify something with the new evidence. I don't think that's how it should work. What the f? Sounds like the defense lawyers asked something that was a little loophole in your direct, and now you're wanting to add more evidence to make up for what you f***ed over in your direct.
Mr. Steele in his line of questioning to investigator Belknap regarding the tweets, as well as even State's Exhibit 55W, there was this inference again that Mr. Williams is only doing this for promotion, to promote his music career, to promote that he's not a real gangster, but that he is a studio gangster and is promoting this lifestyle, so it's not really accurate.
So this is specifically to make Thug look like a gangster, is what she just said. That's why they're trying to add this video.
You've got 4 people that are involved in your case. You've got several others that are not.
So the judge just watched the video and said there's only 4 that are involved in the case. So that's not even talking about the people that are in the courtroom, I don't think, because there's 28 defendants or whatever there was. There's only 4 YSL people that are indicted in this video.
All of the individuals we believe were part of Rock Crew at the time, and as Rock Crew was the early iteration.
Eva, you know they are.
From the video, they claim that. This is a whole video when each of these members claim affiliation with Rock Crew, which is the earliest iteration of YSL back in 2012.
And how are you saying their statements are admissible? The people that are not charged in this indictment?
Because they would be co-conspirator of the larger general conspiracy of the criminal street gang of Rock Crew. And so that would come in under the co-conspirator.
You're alleging they were part of Rock Crew 10 years ago, but that's not proven yet. You.
First of all, factually, I would push back on the state's assertion that all of these people, Rock Crew associates or expressed so on the video. I think that's a very much of an overstatement and a generalization. I don't believe that every person that speaks does that.
Well, isn't that the jury's determination to determine whether or not?
Here we go. The judge saying it's the jury's determination for everything, which I agree with in some cases. In a RICO trial, I feel like that could be prejudicial, not real evidence. Like it's literally just videos of them chilling, throwing up gang signs, saying shit.
Whether or not 1, a conspiracy exists, and 2, whether or not it was made in furtherance of the conspiracy.
When the state is saying that someone's talking and someone else is talking, we're talking about a camera that's panning to different people. There's no indication from what I saw that this gentleman who's being a general narrator, at least from what I saw, there's no indication that Mr. Williams even heard what the narrator's saying when he says what he said. So it's not someone says something and Mr. Williams says something and we need to know what they said to understand what Mr. Williams is saying. They're completely separate conversations that just happen to be going on within this group of about 20 people in this parking lot on a random day, probably 10, 15 years ago. My understanding, we just received this yesterday. That's the first time I saw it, or yesterday or this morning. So
she's shaking her head, smiling that they didn't just receive it. So who's wrong here?
Okay, my colleagues are saying that we received it last week.
Why are we sending new evidence last week in the middle of a trial? I still to this day don't understand how there's not a cutoff.
Investigator Belknap's their expert witness. They've been preparing this case with Investigator Belknap. I don't think that just because the lawyers haven't received it by a certain date that that's an excuse to hand over evidence that they intend to introduce to the defense counsel at the last minute. I don't believe that is argument.
I'm so sick of this trial, bro. What a disaster, waste of taxpayers' money. What makes it worse is that this whole day has been wasted. They're supposed to start at 12:30. It's 3:30 p.m. and they're just starting talking about a video.
Ran away, man. My little girl got it on right now, man. On Trey, man. She got a car. She ain't even walking yet, and that's on Trey.
There's Tick.
Look, man, what? Get out the car, really don't. Bitch. Yeah, ho. Yeah, ho. Black 2 guns up. I be that bloody trouble breaking that sex money murder, man. I'm saying, shit tatted on me, man. I'm saying, people get beat up, man. Yeah, ho. You trouble sex money murder, man. Crane cash through everything. What the bitch get do, ho?
All right, so I found the part where Thug is at right here, finally, in this video. Oh, he said something about Rock family for life. Yeah, this is definitely an L for the defense to show this to the jury. Just some nice young men having a good outdoor hangout session. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a good look. Oh no, he's throwing up gang signs saying sex, money, murder. This dude, if this is shown to the jury, it's over. He said blat too. They already showed enough videos and pictures that connects them to the gang. Like this is more prejudicial than anything.
Everyone in this entire video is claiming to be a member of, a part of Sex, Money, Murder, Your Honor. Again, a part of this gang that Mr. Williams, based on a cross-examination, has tried to disassociate himself with. When going through the tweets yesterday as if he's not a part. And we believe the totality of this video.
She's upset that Mr. Steele did a good job on Cross yesterday. Essentially is what she's saying. I need to add this new video because y'all did really good on Cross and made it look like y'all y'all aren't gang members. Isn't that the whole fucking point of this trial, is to fight the evidence that you're trying to say we're gang members? This allegation?
The state does not think tweets made before and after Mr. Williams tweets things out are needed to give context to his words. But they, at the same time, they're going to sit here and tell this honorable court that some random person giving a 3-minute speech about what he has going on and about buying shoes for his kid if his kid asks, and about his baby having a car but she can't even walk yet, is needed to give context to things that Mr. Williams supposedly did on that video. The state's arguments are shifting.
The state's arguments are shifting. If I was the state right now, I would literally cut the clip of Thug, the 5 seconds of him doing this shit. I'm not a gang member. I'm a civilian. That was for entertainment purposes only.
Can we, I have a question for the state.
Yes.
Is it possible to redact out the people that are smoking marijuana?
I mean, we can maybe stop and move it, but I mean, we can't remove them from the video. I mean, to me, Your Honor, that's not more prejudicial than probative. I mean, we have, in this case now...
Probative. It's not probative to anything that we have going on.
Exactly. Why them smoking on video? Is that probative at all?
The people that are smoking marijuana, I'm concerned about that improper character. There are definitely sex, money, murder symbols and references to Pistol Pete. And Mr. Williams himself says that he makes some references to sex, money, murder. Those are all relevant.
I knew the judge was going to allow some of it, dude. And that's all that happened on day 27. And I think the judge is going to let it come in, but now we go into day 28. That's how much time was wasted on 27. I don't know what happened on day 27, but so much time was wasted. They literally got nothing done. And the jury was just sitting there waiting. I'd literally want to jump out of this window if I was on this jury.
Regarding the witnesses, including but not limited to their...
Thug is so over this shit. This is the first time we got to see Thug, by the way, in the past 2 days. Here he is in his nice red sweater, sick turtleneck.
Those who have been properly deemed special circumstances witnesses only.
And what is a special circumstance witness?
Either a victim whose initials only are to be live streamed, or a witness with special circumstances such as like a law enforcement officer undercover.
State wants to keep some witnesses private, which I understand. The defense says no, we have a right to a public trial, which I understand. Sounds like they're just gonna not film some witnesses like they have been doing anyway. And now Brian Steele's back up. I think he's gonna cross-examine the detective again.
Of rap music where there are songs not involving Mr. Williams where the C is exchanged for a B.
I am aware of songs not involving Mr. Williams where the C is replaced for a B.
This is something that is done by known artists. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it has been done by some known artists.
Including, and I'm not limiting it to, Post Malone. Do you know who Post Malone is?
I know who he is.
Have you heard him do that?
I have not.
Okay. Meek Mill, you know who that artist is?
I do.
Have you know that?
No, sir.
Thug's lawyer is just getting a bunch of big artist names in the jury's head right now, trying to convince the jury that this is all entertainment. You know what I mean? That's the goal here. It's pretty much the only route he could go to defend Thug with some of these tweets.
Are you familiar with the song Jumped Out the Face by Meek Mill?
I'm not.
And Post Malone, you are familiar with the song Psycho?
No.
Are you familiar with Juice WRLD?
I know who he is.
Are you familiar with, instead of cooling, booling, B-O-O-L-I-N? Are you familiar with that song?
I'm not.
Okay. Drippy Red, you know who that is?
I know of him.
And do you know the song Bust Down, again, booling rather than cooling?
No, sir.
Playboy Cardi, you know who that is?
I do.
You familiar with that?
I'm not.
Okay. Lil Yachty, you know who that is?
I do.
Lil Wayne, as I said, I Do It. Are you familiar with that song?
I may have heard it, but I don't know all the lyrics.
All right. Are you familiar in that song? It is booling instead of cooling, for example?
No, no reason to dispute it.
All right. Lil Uzi Vert, you know who that rapper is?
I do.
YWN Melly, you know that rapper?
I do.
The song Till the End.
What are the odds of Melly being brought up in this trial too? Bro's just name dropping all these huge rappers to show that they also changed the C to a B. And it's all entertainment. Is it really all entertainment for Thug? Probably not.
It starts with a C instead of that Brazy. Have you heard known rappers change that, not Mr. Williams, excluding Mr. Williams?
I have.
All right. A$AP Rocky, you know the song Crazy Brazy?
I don't know if I've heard the song or not.
All right. YG, Still Brazy, you know that song?
I don't.
Future, you know who that is?
I do.
Absolutely Going Brazy, you know that?
I'm not familiar with the song.
All right. Lil Wayne song Only, same lyric change.
I don't know that I've ever heard it.
All right. Kendrick Lamar, you know who that is?
I do.
You know the song My Hood Going Brazy?
I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
Okay. The Weeknd, song Snow Child?
I'm not familiar with it.
All right. Travis Scott, you know who that is?
I do.
Did you realize he just played on the Grammys this past weekend?
That's the same question.
Tried to sneak in the Grammys performance.
This is something that you're familiar with, which is common to exchange the letters in this type of field of music. Is that fair to say?
Objection, speculation is common.
I sustain the objection.
All right. Let me ask you this. How many cases you've investigated where a person's profession or art as a, let's say, an author, a novelist, a person who writes a book, how many times have you done a case where you use that person's art in the trial?
I haven't had any cases involving an author where their written works were part of the evidence in our trial.
How about a movie actor or a writer of a script? Tell the jurors how many times you use their art in the movie or the writer's words in a trial, or an investigation doesn't have to be a trial.
So Mr. Steele's comparing different art mediums to rap, saying that rap is kind of targeted.
About an investigation where there was, and their art outside of hip-hop or rap. So let's say country. How many people who perform country music have you ever investigated for their, and included their lyrics?
Well, I haven't investigated any country music artists for criminal activity.
Okay. Opera? Anybody?
I've investigated no opera artists.
All right. Rock and roll?
I don't believe I've investigated any rock artists.
Popular music? Pop music?
Nope, I don't believe I have any cases that have involved any pop music artists either.
Do you know that there were wiretaps used in this case?
I do.
Familiar with that? The whole point of a wiretap is that the person targeted doesn't realize that their phone is being listened to. Is that fair to say?
I would not say that's the whole point of a wiretap, but it's certainly an important element. The point of a wiretap is to gather evidence, not just information and not just to listen to someone's conversations.
It is also to catch them by surprise and get them talking when they don't think they're being recorded. I wonder what Brian Steele is working on here. What's his point here for this?
The prosecution team targeted certain phones. True?
I don't know what you're defining as the prosecution team, but I also wasn't the person who made the decision of what phones to target.
This investigation looked into Jeffrey Williams a great deal. Is that fair to say?
I would not characterize it as saying we looked into Jeffrey Williams a great deal.
But the decision was made by whomever that Jeffrey Williams' phone was not wiretapped. You realize that?
Objection on speculation.
I say objection.
Do you have any information that Jeffrey Williams' telephone or telephones were wiretapped?
I do not.
So now Brian Steele's going to go through a bunch of tweets and try to give context to them to make Thug look good, pretty much.
Did you look at the tweets surrounding the tweet that you told the jury about on 21W of State's Exhibit on the top?
I was asked to review the content of the tweets that have been admitted into evidence.
But answer my question if you don't mind.
I thought that wasn't an answer to your question, I'm sorry. I was asked to review these specific exhibits, so this is the extent of what I reviewed in preparation for my testimony.
Okay, so you did not review the tweets on the same day, August 31, 2011, from Mr. Williams' Twitter account. Is that fair to say?
It is, I did not.
All right.
Makes it look like his investigation wasn't thorough.
Is also purportedly from Mr. Williams' Twitter. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And it's at 7:57 p.m. on August 31, 2011, right?
It is.
And that is the same day as the one specific tweet that you pulled out on Mr. Williams' number 21W top portion, correct?
I did not pull any tweets out.
Correct, go ahead.
So,
the one you identified.
Yes, the one that was in the exhibit, that is correct.
Okay, and what Mr. Williams purportedly wrote, or his Twitter reads, and I'm just reading the very first one, is all my followers go to the girl at KL_3 stiff right now, 4 exclamation points. Is that fair reading?
Fair enough.
The next tweet, which is approximately 11 minutes later, it's at 8:08 p.m. You see that on August 31, 2011?
I do.
Did you ever look at Young Zoo Twitter to prepare for this testimony?
Not to prepare for this, no.
All right. Well, let's look at that, and that's at 8:22 p.m. on the same day, correct? August 31, 2011?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is saying cooling instead of a C. It's replaced with a K. Is that fair to say?
It is.
Cooling it on the set with, and then it says Young Thug World.
So it's just the I Love My Rock fam tweet. Apparently they were all together while they were tweeting all this, is what Brian Steele is getting at here. This is the State's exhibit of, like, they put two different tweets together that were months apart for whatever reason. Why are they allowed to put two tweets that are months apart together on the same page? That does seem very strange. I think that's what Brian Steele's going for here.
That Mr. Williams is responding to that tweet. He did not write that tweet. Is that correct?
Yes, that's how that works. The quoted text is text that's being replied to.
And then Mr. Williams purportedly, or whoever has his Twitter account, wrote the words, boy stop, with 3 commas, never that, right?
Yes.
And then all it says is, if you want to know what Cleveland is, then a comma in 3 periods, it's where the Bloods be, 3 exclamation points, right?
That's correct.
This is December 14, 2011, right?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams' Twitter account is on December 14, 2011, writing, I think I might join hashtag duct tape, because they would the hashtag BS. Fair to say?
It is.
Okay. And you know that duct tape is a entertainment label in Atlanta. Fair to say?
It is that, among other things.
Among other things.
And you know that Jay-Z's record label in New York is Rock Nation?
I do.
Did you do anything to determine whether there was any correspondence at that time between Mr. Williams and trying to get in touch with Duct Tape or Rock Nation to get together for this trial?
I didn't have any access to communications between Mr. Williams and Jay-Z.
Hold up. I did not realize they could have tried to just say it was about Rock Nation this whole time.
Do you know that Mr. Williams was about to drop a mixed tape at that time?
Objection. He's testifying.
I state objection.
And again, it's Mr. Williams' Twitter account, right?
Yes.
And it says N ain't give me SH blank T, so I'm not coming with a K nowhere, comma, your SH blank T gonna get shot up, and then it's FRFR, but you already explained that's for real, for real. Fair to say?
Yes.
And then 4 exclamation points, right?
Yes.
What did you do, if anything, to look at any context for that tweet?
I was not asked to review this or testify to context, so I simply reviewed the tweet.
Hashtag 1 day left till the best night of the week. Hashtag Sunday, I'm saying night, but there's a U, where everyone goes to Metro Lane. You see that?
I do.
All right, and do you tell, ladies and gentlemen, jury, if you know what Metro Lane is?
Metro Lane is a bowling alley and entertainment center on Metropolitan Parkway.
And we were aware that there was another establishment advertising that Mr. Williams was coming to their place to perform on that same night?
No.
All right.
So that tweet was out of anger about another show or promotion saying he's going to come there when he wasn't.
And I'm not saying the word, but N ain't giving me SH blank T, so you am not coming with a K, nowhere, comma, yo, SH blank T, going to get, and it's a little blocked by Mr. Kokomo's writing, but it says, shot up, for real, 4 exclamation points. And that's State's Exhibit number 25W that you read, right?
Yes.
Okay. And again, not being paid for entertaining somewhere, you never investigated that. You didn't know that when you testified before the jury, did you?
I stand the objection.
You knew nothing except you were given a tweet and then asked to tell the jury to read it and to give your opinion about it, right?
No, I wasn't aware of the context in which the threat was made, no.
Threat. I mean, it is kind of a threat. It's hard to defend that tweet.
Twitter account, and it says hashtag Metro Lane, hashtag tonight, hashtag Metro Lane, hashtag tonight, hashtag Metro Lane, hashtag tonight. Is that fair to say?
It is.
Anything, when you testify before this jury about State's Exhibit number 25W, that Mr. Williams was performing at Metro.
That'll be speculative.
I'm asking if you knew when you testified.
I'm saying the objection.
Did you have any context, or did you look for any context before testifying to State's 25W?
As stated, I was asked to review the content of the tweets, not context.
And I'd like to talk about the top one first, if that's okay. Do you have any evidence to share with this jury that that is not talking about Mr. Williams' musical career?
Objection, that would be speculation.
I stand the objection.
I know something about the background of what I testified to, which is ROC and NBC, yes.
Okay, but how about that tweet? Did you know any of the context or anything about it?
No, sir.
And this is on April 24, 2012, right?
It is.
2 green firearms, I'll say, with pistol, spelled the way it's spelled with an A, Pete, and then 4 exclamation points, right?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know that Mr. Williams has songs at about that time referencing Pistol Pete? Were you aware of that?
Not specifically, no.
Okay, were you aware that Lil Wayne had songs referencing Pistol Pete earlier than that?
Not specifically, no.
Were you aware that many artists referenced Pistol Pete in their songs before April 2012, if you know?
Yes, I'm aware that other artists have referenced Pistol Pete in their songs.
Comparing him to artists, trying to make him look like it's all for entertainment.
The same date as the Pistol Pete with the 2 firearms that you referenced in State's 27W, fair to say?
It is.
And then in the bottommost tweet, it reads, Young Thug has a show on April 26, 2012 at 5 p.m. at Celebrity Basketball, then 3 dots, at the time of testifying to this jury about State's Exhibit 27W, the Pistol Pete, that Mr. Williams was promoting a show in his tweets immediately before.
No, I did not review the tweets immediately before.
Honestly, this is a W for the defense because it does show that they took some tweets out of context, and it could make them look like they're trying to paint a picture and like take things that weren't really gang related, and they were just simply him tweeting either lyrics or promotions of shit.
Do you have any evidence to share with this jury that that is not people promoting Mr. Williams promoting his own music?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's only him promoting his music, and what I've seen in these tweets, what I've seen in my experience and my investigations is that he certainly was promoting his music, but he also promoted his gang through the music. His music was promoted by his gang as well.
Okay.
It's crazy they can put tweets up months apart like that. I didn't even realize that when they first showed it.
Did you ever go to cartel with a K _ DK to see what was being tweeted that day?
No, not that day, although I have reviewed that account at various points in the past.
And then it says on it like a poster, I would say, Thug Independence, Young Thug, and then ICFM, which you already said in case, excuse me, I Came From Nothing 3, hosted by DJ Swamp 1220, drops July 4, right?
Yeah.
It says on livemixtapes.com?
Yes.
The state presented these tweets as these big bad gang tweets, essentially. That's what they did. That's what the whole point of this was, to show that he's tweeting at his gang affiliate. But really, on the same day, they were promoting music. So it is kind of a good route for the lawyer to do this. It all depends on how the jury sees it, bro. So there's more tweets of him promoting other people that the state put him associating with DK, who was a founder of YSL, obviously.
Do you know if it had anything to do with Jeffrey's music, or you just don't know?
I don't know. All right.
So this just shows that the state they jizzed in their pants a little early, adding all these random tweets like they were gang affiliated tweets when they could have been deemed promotion, essentially.
I believe we did, yes.
And you know that now to be a song, right?
I believe that it is, yes.
And it's Against Me. Song Bloody J, Ola Player, remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
So more lyrics that he was tweeting out.
The tweet that you were talking about earlier that's now memorialized in State's Exhibit number 34W top, fair to say?
I do.
And then the tweet immediately before that is same date, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Williams' Twitter account, right?
Correct.
And it's Young Thug, I'm going to say Times, Player, Times, Bloody J, hyphen, Against Me, Productions, or PROD, period, at Ferrari Smash, colon, and then a YouTube site, fair to say?
It is.
Okay. And Against Me, you've already identified, you know that to be a song, right?
Yes.
And in that song, and we can play it, but in that song, it has the words that's then immediately above it, I'm in love with SMM, we having a baby. Do you know that? And if not, that's fine.
I don't know that and I have no reason to dispute it.
Oh, it's probably lyrics again.
Do you know that he calls his fans slimes, bloods, thugs? Are you familiar with that?
Your Honor, speculation, intent, hearsay.
We discussed this one previously. Do you remember that?
I do.
All right. And this is a part of a song called Banned Lil Wayne released. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And YSL Runway, you know what that means?
No, not necessarily.
All right. Deals with music. If you don't know, that's fine.
Objection, speculation, no.
All right. The one above it, and that's the one that you targeted with. And when I say target, I don't mean that, you know, disrespectful. That's what's in State's Exhibit 37, right?
Yeah, as long as we're clear that I didn't target anything. It is what's in the State's Exhibit 37.
Okay, and that's again, hashtag YSL, Young Slime Life, ... hashtag slat.
Correct.
Okay, go up one more. Exclamation point, hashtag slat, hashtag YSL, right?
Yes.
Deals with music?
Appears to, yes.
All right.
Along with the gang reference at the end.
Along with the gang reference at the end, sneaking that in there.
Okay, and the gang reference at the end is hashtag YSL.
Hashtag slat, hashtag YSL.
That's your interpretation.
I believe that's exactly what it says it means.
Okay. You see that the same date on the very top, October 17, 2017, as the same date in State's Exhibit number 40W as in Mr. Williams number 70, and it says 12 tonight. You see that?
I do.
And this, you know, or do you know, is it's a mixtape called Super Slimy that Mr. Williams made with the rapper Future. Are you aware of that?
I am. So this particular image was a note to myself and other gang investigators, particularly during this time period. Their rival gang, ADG, has a hawk logo that they use on their own clothing and identifiers. As you can see on the cover of this, there's a hawk skull with a snake, the symbol for YSL, climbing through the eyes of this skull of a hawk.
Oh no, that backfired. All right, that's pretty much it. That's all that happened in front of the jury today. Not a good look for the state to put those tweets out there and ask the detective about it because they were taken out of context. I mean, they like showed tweets months apart. Like that's really stupid in my opinion. Comment down below what you guys think about the situation. Hit subscribe. Peace out.